Man, oh man, what a weekend it was for Call of Duty. Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports talk. A storyline I've wanted to touch on for so long now is now official, and I think no better time than now, guys. That being Ferocity, now Fero, officially back in the Call of Duty League with his first title. I think I'm going to call it title, not official championship. You guys might be offended by that. In my own small head, I do still consider these championships, although that's probably a debate for another day. Either way, an unsigned player before the season even started now makes his way onto the Florida squad to win their first title. This comeback story is one I've wanted to touch on for some time now, and you know, with this past weekend working out the way it did, not only them winning, but him leading this team and especially going off himself, it's just an incredible story, especially for all their players out there, other unsigned, either unsigned or sub players, to look at that and say he really put his head down despite the controversy, came back, and now wins a championship. It's a very cool story, especially for an event, by the way, we'll touch on a lot tomorrow when it comes time for complaining about lag, the forfeit. We'll touch on that tomorrow, guys. We can all agree when it comes to online play, which will be talked about a lot tomorrow. Trust me, this is a shaky event, right? Despite all that, you got to give credit where credit is due. A win is a win, and a team like Florida winning their first title is super cool. Besides all of that, though, Call of Duty continues to be, not just online, but in general, full of upsets. I'm not really sure what to attribute to what, because we've seen plenty of upsets so far this season, but a lot of closer series and upsets, I would say, throughout this event as well, or impressive showings like that of Seattle Surge. Shouts to them. You know, Apathy has a kid. You got two very close game fives and the first official CDL tie. I would say pretty good performance, albeit still struggling in SND, and those struggles are certainly still there. I hope they can keep level-headed throughout all of this backlash. I would say one of their strongest showings to date. I wish they could have overcome in both those game fives. Speaking of which, Toronto showing up, winning a series is pretty good. They also take Dallas then to a game five and fall then to Florida, who they beat in their opening series. This is, in my opinion, the best Toronto event we have seen. Again, you're going to see plenty of people say it's because it's online, but still you see two of your bottom teams out there performing in very, very close series. It gives hope that maybe they continue that on in the future. And the LA Gorillas, oh, they are just, plight. Is plight a word? They are just another forfeit in their opening series, and I would say if not an opening series given 2-1 to Dallas Empire automatically, it could have gone either way. That's my opinion. I'm sure Empire fans would think differently, but another forfeit for this team, which we will again be talking about tomorrow. Chicago looked dominant early on. Dallas Empire, I would say a bit more shaky, but still a strong run as well. Both those teams losing the semifinals, I would say, is certainly a surprise, but you got to think back to our previous homestands, guys. A by far and away majority of all semifinal matchups, even including the Chicago and Dallas ones in the past, have gone to game five. Both those series could have gone either way, so to see these teams upset, especially online, is less surprising than I thought. Rocker make their second grand final and their second place event, losing to Florida Mutineers, and back to this comeback story, which I believe, I really do think deserves so much more credit. From controversial clips, keeping teams from signing a guy like Fero, from Florida giving him a shot in absence of Pristini, which, by the way, another storyline coming on this channel. There are so many talking points now that Call of Duty is back. I'm kind of nervous because there's already so much content. You guys are keeping me in this office way too long, but I love it because the storylines do continue. With Pristini out, Fero a solidified spot in. They win their first title after all of that, giving him a chance to come back and do this. It is the single best comeback story we have so far this season, and one that deserves the credit, including the title. We now have 4 separate teams with titles and chips. It just kind of depends on whether you classify this as a chip or a title, or maybe just right under that as well. Either way, I would still think, despite all the issues, I think it was still very fun to watch. We have so many storylines, and we'll continue to cover those here on this channel, guys. Certainly, though, when it comes to the flip side of complaints, I will also be touching on that tomorrow in a more extensive video. Until next time, take care, everybody. Hey, Call of Duty is back. Hopefully, these servers get a lot better.